Well, hey guys, Utah Steve here, back for another foray into the Uintas. This parking lot may look familiar. This is the Shingle Creek parking lot. I've been here many times with both just my kids. I've been here by myself. I've been here with my buddy Joe and my kids. And this adventure was supposed to be, well, let me back up a little. I had some car trouble in the last couple of weeks. I'm actually borrowing a coworker's truck. Thank you, Kent, once again for making this trip even possible. Basically, how this played out was Joe and I planned this trip months ago, and I almost couldn't make it up here because my Dodge Journey broke down and is in the shop being repaired. And so what it came down to was whether or not my kids wanted to come on this trip, whether or not I was even going to make it on this trip. Joe is already up here with his friend Jacob, who I've never met. So they've been up here overnight, one night already, and they're going to be up here another night, and I'm meeting them up here. I have to hike and find them. I know the basic area they're going to be in. I just don't know the exact spot. My kids were all excited to come. They wanted to come. It's their mom's weekend, so it was okay if they didn't want to. Ultimately, they forgot they had actually invited a friend over for the weekend. When you're 12 or 13, your friends are so important that kind of won out over them coming up here with me. So next weekend we are getting out together up here in the Uintas. As you can see, it's beautiful and green. Higher up, still lots of snow, but the highway is open. So we're starting out like we did last year, down low in the Uintas at Shingle Creek. Much lower elevation, much less chance of snow. So I've got my pack ready to go, of course, and all I have to do is get it on and hit the trail and try to find Joe. It's his birthday weekend. Yesterday was his birthday, and we're up here to celebrate that. So here's a look at how busy this parking lot is. I was lucky to find the spot I've got. The only reason I was able to find a spot at all is because I had to make one. It's not actually a parking spot, but hey, the no parking sign is over here, and it's a Saturday. It's a very popular time to go backpacking and hiking on this lower trail. This is also where I started the 2021 season. I did 2 nights and 3 days this very same weekend a year ago. So if you want to check that out, I'll put the first episode down below in the description. If you haven't seen it, there are several episodes. It's how I tend to do things up here because I film a lot. And so this is episode 1 of Joe's birthday weekend at Shingle Creek. I'm gonna get my pack on and shut up, and we're gonna hit the trail. I have a lot of new gear on this trip. Some stuff I haven't even used before. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out for my solo adventures this year. I just plan on hammock camping. When I take my boys, we'll be in a tent. That's pretty much the plan for the summer. We're looking for blue blazes like the one on this tree. However, I am not hiking to God knows where before I find camp. I know the area I'm going is not actually that far in. It may even look familiar to you if you've seen my other Shingle Creek videos. I just don't know the exact spot that Joe and Jacob ended up in. So that'll be the real challenge once I get there, is figuring out where they are. Like a little game. Utah Steve's outdoor adventure games. I've got a couple people up ahead of me and I keep catching up to them, and a group of people coming down this way. I think I'm gonna wait for them to pass before I continue on. It'll give those couple of people who are going the same direction as me a chance to get ahead, and these guys a chance to get back to their car, and me a chance to adjust to the freaking elevation. I've been hiking almost every day in preparation for the backpacking season near my house at about 4,000 foot elevation. I don't remember the elevation of the Shingle Creek Trail. I'll put it up here on the screen at the tippy top of my finger. Okay, back on the trail. A little bit of downhill, which is always good. This trail, the beginning of it is kind of up and down like a roller coaster. So you reach the top of one hill, kind of catch your breath, and then you start going downhill. Get your momentum going for the next hill. We're coming up on the bridge now. There's been some trail maintenance. Wow. A tree fell and split. You can see where they cut it through so we can get down here. But it's still here right in the middle of the trail. That's pretty sketchy. Look at that. That's literally resting on top of the other log. Yeah, someone's gonna have to come in here and hack this up with the chainsaw before that falls on somebody. It's very dead. We're going over. So looking back, you can really see how sketchy that is. Here's the bridge. Lots of snow melt up here this time of year. Look at that creek. Well, it's Shingle Creek, but that's more of a river. Crazy. If if my kids had come on this trip, we were gonna come up yesterday and spend both nights up here with Joe and Jacob. Jacob, I won't know yet till I talk to him. So when they couldn't make it, then they had a swim party for their school, end of school year swim party. That was from 6 to 9 p.m. So I took them to that and decided it would be best if I got a good night's rest and then drove up here. It's only... Hello.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Awesome. Come on, dogs.
They look tired.
Oh yeah, they have a blast.
It's only 10:30 in the morning, and I came up here. It takes about 2 hours to drive up here. So I was on the road by 8:30 this morning. I'll probably find them at camp by, I don't know, 11:30, I'm hoping. Just in time for lunch. And by the way, on all of my trips, I take a lot of photos. So if you want to see photos from this trip, they always get posted first, way before the video, on Instagram. This is my Instagram. So go ahead and head over there and follow me. I might even follow you back. Some of you might be wondering why, after I passed those dogs, it reminded me why Scraps isn't with me. And honestly, the only reason why is because he still will not jump into a hammock. If I could get him to jump into the hammock with me, he could come with me and spend the night up here. But unfortunately, he's still pretty, he's trying. He's pretty scared though. He's pretty sketchy about the whole swinging back and forth thing that I do. And hopefully by my next solo outing, I can get him in a hammock. Next weekend, the plan is, weather pending, the plan is to come up into the Uintas with Dylan and Jude, my sons, and we'll be tent camping, and we will bring Scraps along for that outing. So that's where he is. He's home with my other son, Murphy, and so he's missing out. I tried. I'm still working with him on it. Anyway, I'm just catching my breath. This thin air is something else. Trail hasn't even been super steep. It's just run out of breath pretty quick. So anyway, onward and upward. As far as food goes on this trip, a little bit different this time. Just trying to shake it up. More freeze-dried meals from my friend Kent, same guy who loaned me his truck. And he's always giving me stuff he's made in his freeze dryer, so I brought some of that up. That's some of my meals. Joe has prepared something for this outing for dinner. I think he and Jacob had tacos last night, and he dehydrated some stuff to bring up for tonight, so that should be good. I also brought a different kind of MRE. It's still a United States MRE, but it's a civilian MRE, the kind they give out to hurricane victims, earthquake victims, that kind of thing. I have no idea what's in them. I don't know what I'm in for whatsoever. I've heard the military MREs are much better, but it is what it is. So that'll be probably I'll probably open that for lunch. I believe there's 2 entrees inside it. My pack looks big and heavy, but it's not that heavy. It's bulky. There's a lot of fat stuff in there that doesn't weigh much. Most of my weight is, I've got 3 liters of water with me, and I've got my food and a brand new canister of fuel. So all of that adds quite a bit of weight. So I'll be hiking out a lot lighter. And also, something I want to bring up about the water treatment. All last year I used tablets, and I made a video about it. I'll link that down below. the whole backpacking season, I ditched the water filter and I used clarification tablets. Not just clarification, but purification. And I used them all summer with no problems. It was a learning process. If you haven't seen the video and you watch it, you'll see what I mean. By the end of summer, I had it down pat. A viewer of mine messaged me on Instagram and let me know that he read an article that showed that the tablets kill everything except one kind of bacteria. I'll put it up here on the screen because I can't pronounce it, but the drops, if you buy the drops, they will kill that bacteria. So I went to the store and I looked everywhere. They had plenty of tablets, but no drops. So apparently this is not a well-kept secret. I just didn't know. So this year I will be using drops when I drink river water or lake water all summer. However, because I couldn't find any to buy for this trip, I'm using the tablets. Starting off with 3 liters of fresh water from home or from the gas station. And I'll be using tablets after that if I run out, just for this trip. So we just came up that was a real pain. It's the hardest push coming up here up to where we're going, and after that it becomes a lot more like that regularly. Thank goodness we're not going up that high. But right up here it levels out and it's quite beautiful and peaceful. We should be coming up on a pond. Some more trail maintenance. It's just beautiful in here, isn't it? Look at these quaking aspens. Unfortunately, many of them are dying, along with some of the spruces. There's an invasive beetle that came over from Europe. I've even found them in my yard, and they have been slowly destroying the trees, which makes fire a much bigger deal. Lots of dry tinder burns down pretty quick. Speaking of fire, it shouldn't be a problem. There is no fire ban currently. And watch the butterfly. Almost landed on my shoe. It's so green and wet up here. The signs posted say the fire danger is extremely low. So there will probably be a campfire tonight, which is good because I brought marshmallows, which I never eat unless I'm camping usually. And usually with my kids, but these are chocolate with chocolate in the middle. I couldn't pass that up. Coming up on the pond I mentioned, you can hear frogs. Last year this was really low, if I remember correctly. We were able to walk out to this log and get right on it. Or maybe it's the year before with my kids. Anyway, it's definitely not low this year. Believe it or not, Utah is still in a drought. Here in the Uintas, the snow's still melting, so listen to those frogs. Well, at this point we're almost there to the area I'm talking about. If you've seen the other videos, you'll recognize it. I've got 3 ladies hiking in front of me. They walked by while I was filming and photographing this pond. So now I've got to give them some space and let them get a little ways ahead. Otherwise we're going to be hiking together. It's okay with me. But you know, a guy by himself out here, just standing here filming and photographing, and 3 ladies walk by, I can see how that'd be uncomfortable. It looks like they're finally disappearing into the trees, so I can not worry about being a creeper and I'll just hike a little slower. We are almost there, so it's not like I'm in a huge hurry. It's only 11:05. I'm making better time than I thought I would. And soon, Mr. Joe Shanks and Mr. Jacob, I won't give his last name, Joe Shanks, I give his last name because his YouTube channel is Joe Shanks Adventures. So that'll be linked below. Check him out, subscribe. He films too, so I'm in some of his videos and some of them I'm not. And Jacob's in some of his videos. Some of Joe's videos are solo, just whatever. His videos are a lot shorter than mine. Everyone's videos are shorter than mine. Oh well, it's just my thing. Anyway, check him out. I don't know if Jacob has a YouTube channel. I don't think so. Let's go find him. We should be coming up on a meadow very soon. I've been losing a lot of weight, which this is backpacking related. I feel like I'm carrying so much less weight than I usually do. I used to weigh, I'm not afraid to say it now, I used to weigh 237. I now weigh 209. Not bad. That's a lot of weight loss. Most of my weight that I carry now is kind of in my gut. I've reached a certain age where that's harder to get rid of, but I haven't given up. All the hiking has helped. A healthier diet has helped. But don't expect a healthy diet on this trip, because when I backpack and camp, all that goes out the window. And my chances of diabetes go through the roof. But it's only for a weekend, so when I get home, I'll have a salad. I'll cook some eggs. A lot of protein, a lot of vegetables, very little sugar. I do allow myself an indulgence or a cheat meal once in a while, but mostly I've lost enough weight that I can feel the difference when I'm hiking. It's just liberating. It's fantastic. And I'm grateful for my health, because really, without your health, nothing else really matters. So I think I'm gaining on those girls again. Lots of water. Oh, this is exciting. I don't know what it is about seeing a nice, full, healthy river, but look at that. Want to know why the Uintas are my favorite place on earth? Absolutely beautiful. A lot of times this isn't nearly this full, and there's just like a creek running through the middle, but look, even the land here is underwater. I see that as a good sign. That's probably 2 feet, 3 feet deep right there, out towards that tree. And it's coming from where we're camping, where we should be camping. It should be right in that area. I'm relieved. I was worried there was going to be snow up here still. The temperature right now is probably not even 70 yet. It feels nice and cool on my skin, probably 65. And it won't get much warmer than that up here. Lows maybe down into the low 40s, maybe upper 30s, but I'm prepared for that. Driving up here, I still had the stresses of life on my shoulders, and now that I'm here, it's just all kind of melted away. Do yourselves a favor, guys. This isn't the end of the video, but get off the couch and get outside in nature if you can. If you can't, that's why I make these videos. At least I can share it with you if for some reason you can't. Isn't that amazing? Wow. This is probably the only time I've ever camped, ever, where I didn't pick the campsite, or at least participate in choosing the campsite. So it'll be interesting to see where Joe and Jacob ended up. The first time I camped up here was with my boys, Dylan and Jude, and we actually ended up putting our tent in there, believe it or not. Here's the trail, here's where our tent was, here's the river. And the reason why is because we started getting rained on pretty good. So we hurried and threw up the tent. It was supposed to be temporary, but we decided just to leave it the way it was. Good old volunteers putting steps in the trail. There's our blue blaze. It's kind of hard not to follow this trail. There's only one. But last year when I hiked up higher, the trail went right into a river and came out the other side. And I had to cross the river, shoes and all, just to get across, because there had been a bridge there. But it had been washed out. It's never been replaced. To my knowledge, it still hasn't been. If you know different, comment down below. But last year it wasn't there. I had to go right through the river. And not too far up the trail from that, I found the perfect campsite. That's life sometimes. You have to go through some turbulent waters to get to your destination, where you can relax and be happy. I'm nearing the meadow. Here it is. Here's our turnoff. I can hear male voices that way. I think it's Joe. Could be. The trail's kind of a stream. It's the first time I've seen that bridge, that homemade bridge right down here, put to some real use. Oop. I heard the voices that way, but it doesn't mean it was Joe. This is the meadow where I camped with Joe and my boys a couple years ago, I guess. I don't remember the year exactly. So that was our fire pit in the middle. My tent was over there, Joe's tent was over there. Now the plan was to come to this meadow and follow the river up. So that's what I'm gonna do. The voices I was hearing are a couple of guys that hiked in ahead of me, just ahead of me, that I had to give space for. So it's not Joe. We're gonna go that way along the river. We have reached our, I don't know what you'd call this, rendezvous point. The point where I said I would hike to, and I can see some color through the trees up here that look like somebody's camp. And I'm pretty sure that's gonna be Joe. So this is where the camp was, and we had Joe was there, our tent was over here. Yeah, I see movement, and it looks like a Joe. See how this goes. Yeah, that's them. Come walking out of the trees. What is up? I thought you'd be way more hidden than this. Look who I found in the middle of the woods. Go figure. What's up? I don't know. I could go camp with those guys if you want.
Yeah, I mean, you like dogs. How's it going?
What's up? Hey, Jacob. Jacob, which is it? Jake? Okay.
Finally get to meet.
Yep.
This is awesome.
How's it been?
It's been great.
You got Duke Kaboom.
Duke Kaboom. Canada's greatest stuff, man.
That's right.
I figured we still need a mascot.
Yeah, I don't have Bob Jr.
Yeah.
Oh, how's it been?
So fun. Last night got down to mid 40s maybe, mid to lower.
Really? That's all?
That's it.
That's awesome.
Lots of firewood. Water
Cool.
that doesn't smell.
Awesome. That's always a bonus. This is the first time that I've been out backpacking since last year when I went with you
It has.
to Bench Lake. So the last time I went was with you,
Okay.
and this time. So I ended the year last year with Joe, and beginning it with Joe and Jake. Pretty
That's a
cool.
good start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
fun that you guys finally get to meet.
Yeah.
That's
Cool.
great. Welcome. Are you
So
well?
Joe has a story about what happened to his socks here. They're burnt.
Yeah, I was trying to dry them out by the fire and I left them there too long. I was doing other stuff. But I actually slipped and fell in the water, the river right over here. And I soaked these, I had those socks on, right? And my shoes, and so I put those socks on for a while. They got wet because of the shoes, and then I tried to dry those on. Now I'm down to one still damp pair of socks.
Oh, that
Shoes.
sucks.
So
They're obviously not fireproof.
they are not, but they make a good pot grabber right now.
Hey, everything has more than one use up here.
This is true.